welcome back to Reads and Threads. Hello, if you're new here, my name's Kate. It's great to have you. Welcome back if you're returning. Today we're going to be going over my January haul. I have been to a few bookshops, scoured my Apple bookstore, probably spent way too much money that I shouldn't be spending, but hopefully have a really good little collection of books that I can add to my shelves. So technically at the end of December, not in January, but so close. I think it was like the 31st. It was like the last day. I did add this version of Powerless to my collection. It just looks so pretty. I ummed and ahed about it for absolutely ages. I haven't read it, so I am hoping that I will really enjoy it when I do get to it. This is the first book in a trilogy, which everyone has probably heard about, but I just saw it on the shelves and I kept seeing it and I just couldn't leave it any longer. So generally I don't buy books if I don't know that I'm going to like them anymore. I've been trying really hard not to, which I'm pretty much going to completely contradict for this entire video, I would think, just because of limited book space. I don't want them going yellow if I don't really love them. I have seen a few videos where people have started putting moisture catchers behind their books, which I probably will start to do, just to hopefully prevent the yellowness, and may even look at getting doors possibly for my Billy bookcases, which are behind me, but we'll see. At this stage, this was my first book. I'm hoping I really like it. If I don't, I will probably either donate it to work, or for those who don't know, I'm a librarian, so majority of my books do end up, if I don't like them, going to the library. So whether we would then put them in the collection depending on their age and their condition at the time, or selling in our book sale that we have at work. I would maybe generally do that with my books, or passing it on depending on the book and the edition. I might start looking into giveaways on here if there is a lot of interest, but we'll see how it goes. This was my first purchase of 2025, or the last one of 2024, however you want to look at it, but we'll see. So hopefully this one is a good read and I want to read the others. Lately, as I have been getting back into reading, I have been reading a lot more on my iPad. And on there is Apple Books, and in their book sale they have, or their bookstore, sorry, they have a lot of $4.99 or free section, and a lot of really good books are coming up for $5, and I just can't seem to resist them, and it feels like the way that I am consuming the majority of my books, so it seems a really good place to be purchasing them for not much money. So I'm going to refer to a little list that I wrote down, so hopefully that's not too annoying. But the first two that I purchased were the second and third in a series. Now, I don't own the first. That one wasn't in the little sale collection, but I have added the first book in this trilogy to my want to read list. So we'll end up in my TBR game, and hopefully we'll get to soon. So the first two that I purchased were A Promise of Peridot and A Rain Rose. And these are both by Kate Golden, and I'll pop the covers up for everything that I don't physically have next to me. They should hopefully already be there. Again, I really just like the covers. I did read the synopsis when I bought them, thought they sounded intriguing, but it was the covers that originally drew me in. So I don't know a huge amount about them, but hopefully at some point I will get to them and they will be a really good read. The next one I came across in the sale section was Queen Charlotte by Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes. Now, I have really been loving the Bridgerton series on Netflix, and I did binge all 9 actually, because there was the book From the Mother's Point of View. I did binge all 9 of the Bridgerton books in the middle of last year, and that really got me back into reading. They were so good. I fled through them all. I gave all of them 5 stars. I absolutely loved them. I did really like the Queen Charlotte series when I watched that on Netflix, so I'm hoping that the book will be just as good. So again, I've added that one to my want to read list, and hopefully we'll get to it soon. The next one that I picked up was one that I'd heard a lot about around BookTube, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Again, I don't think I'd ever heard of this before I started watching BookTube, and everyone seems to really be enjoying it. It sounds like a real cozy fantasy, easy read, and I know that there is a sequel that is out as well. So while it was on sale and in a good format, I just thought I'm going to pick that one up, add it to my want to read list, and see if I enjoy it as much as a lot of other people seem to be. When I am shopping around on Apple Books, I do like to look up my favorite authors and see if any of their stuff is on sale. And one of those authors is Nora Roberts for me. So a lot of the series that is coming up in the sale books I have read, but I can't seem to resist picking them up. I think this was the only Nora Roberts that I did purchase in January, and it is called The Last Honest Woman. This is the first book in the O'Hurley series. I did already have the other 3 on my Apple Books, which I picked up, I think, probably at the end of last year. So I have already read all this series. There was no real need for me to get them, but they were there, they were on sale, and if I did want to reconsume them, that would probably be how I reread them. So now I have them and I can pick them up whenever I feel like dipping my toe back into that series. The next book is a non-fiction book. I don't read a lot of non-fiction, and this one is a memoir, and it is the memoir of Bethany Joy Lenz. She was an actress who is in one of my favorite TV shows that I've loved for so long, which was One Tree Hill, and her book is The Dinner for Vampires. I've seen a few people read it. It's about her getting involved with a cult alongside the popularity and cult aspects that became out of the One Tree Hill section of her life. So I am really intrigued to see what she has to say, what happened to her. I do generally, with most of my non-fiction, listen to them, and because I do quite like listening to them from the actual actors or personalities' point of view. I find like when they're narrating, it just adds to the story. So we'll see. I may end up reading this one on the ebook copy that I've purchased. Otherwise, I may end up borrowing an audio version of it at some stage, but I have added this one to my list, and hopefully it is good and I really enjoy it, but we'll see. So at some point you'll probably see it in a future video. The next one I picked up, I had forgotten that I even really wanted to read it. As I've been setting up my TBR game that I'm hoping to put together for this channel, I've been going through all of my Goodreads want to read lists, looking at the books that I have on my shelf, and this is one that I've had on my want to read list for a long time. I don't know off the top of my head exactly when I added it into my want to read list, but it's called Frey by Melissa Wright. I don't really know anything about it. I assume when I found out about it the first time, I thought it sounded great. I don't mind the cover. It is a saga, so I think there's at least 4, possibly more books out already. It's an older series. I've only got the first one in my want to read list, so we'll see how it goes. And now if I pull it out when I get to my game, I will have a copy to go straight away. So that I just thought was really handy, and I might as well just pick it up when I saw it on sale. The next book, I did originally pre-order the audiobook on Audible, and for some weird reason wasn't going to load until 7 p.m. onto my device on release day, and I couldn't wait that long. And that, of course, is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. So I hunted around. I needed to start it as soon as I could at the beginning of January 21st when it was released. And not wait all day until I could finally get my hands on it. So I cancelled my pre-order on Audible and then went on Apple Books and was able to purchase it straight away and start listening to it. And it was as epic as I hoped it was going to be. I really enjoyed my read of it. I finished it. I will do more in-depth review on my January reads, but absolutely loved it. Can't wait for more in the series, which I know is going to be a little while, but I was so glad that I was able to get a copy straight away and get started. The last book that I picked up on Apple Books in their $5 sale was The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This was the first one in the Broken Earth trilogy. I've seen it around, heard a few people really enjoy this series. I've never, like I said, I've seen it for years. I've never really looked into it much, but again, thought first in a series of what is considered a really good series, I might as well just grab it. So I've added that again now to my want to read list and hoping that I can get into a really epic series, and we'll see how it goes. So right at the beginning of the month, a few of my friends and I were talking at work about books and bookshops and authors and all that kind of stuff that you do in a library. And one of them mentioned a bookshop in Murray Bridge, which is about an hour and a half from where I currently live in South Australia, that is an indie romance bookshop. And it's just sounded too good to resist. So I chatted to one of my friends and I said, let's go on a road trip. And so the next day we drove up to Murray Bridge and did a little bit of damage. Like, I literally came back with an entire haul. It was such a fun location and fun little place. I did take a few little videos while I was up there, so I will pop those in next, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I purchased. From those videos, it was such a cool little place. Fiction and Friction, it was just a great time. And the owner, Britt, I think her name is, she was there, we got chatting. It's just such a cool thing. She does have an online bookshop that then transferred into this physical location. I will link all her details below, so the bookshop's Instagram, etc. And go check it out if you haven't already. It was just a lot of fun and great. And it's really not that far away if you're already living in South Australia, or if you're intending to visit, it's not that far from the city, so a great little road trip. I could have spent even more money in there than I allowed myself to. I know my friend has gone back again since, and I definitely will be. It was great. I have also heard of another little bookshop up the other side of town, which I'm going to go check out, which is another indie romance bookshop that I really am eager to check out now. But let's get to what I purchased in this haul. So we'll start off with the non-book stuff. I have come across book jackets recently. Now I saw my first one of these on a lot of book channels and then came across an ad on my Facebook which was for a company called Charlie and Fox. So I do have one other one of these, but this is the one I got this time. Now this is for a small paperback. They're just so well done. Like the quality of the fabric is just great. When you open it up, there is a little holder in there. It does come with a ribbon bookmark. Can't say they're my favorite, so I probably will end up cutting that off. And then you can just slide the book in the top here and then fold it over, and you've just got a great little cover for your book so that it doesn't get dirty while you read it. And I just absolutely love the pattern. So I couldn't resist that. That had to come home with me. Next to that book jacket was an insane number of really cute bookmarks, and I couldn't resist them. So I did do a bit of damage in the bookmark department. So this lovely blue on one side, black on the other, kind of space bookish theme one, I just love. Couldn't put down. And then we have, sorry, I'm figuring out where to put my hands. This cute little cat Halloweenish type one. Purple is my favorite color. So I just, again, couldn't resist. Love cats. I love this little bee one. I just thought it was so cute. So I was like, again, purple, sold. This one just really called to me. It looked like super fantasy. I loved the colors and the purples and the blues. And again, couldn't resist. Then we have an Iron Flame one. Again, really enjoying the series. If there had been more like Fourth Wing, Iron Flame type ones, I probably would have picked those up as well. And then just this really pretty lilac with gold foiling purple one, which I absolutely loved. There was also a whole heap of bookish candles, and the scents were just to die for. So these ones are a soy-based candle. I think this is... doesn't say how big it is, but they're a decent little size. You definitely get a lot of candle in there. So this one is the actual bookshop, Fiction and Friction. It's their base candle. I hope that that is easy to read. And this one, actually, the scent is pineapple and lemonade. And it just smells awesome. And it's got a really pretty glitter insert, and it's just so great. So it has a 6mm wick for lighting. It's so free, and it should last for 4 hours. So that was just great. The other scent I really liked was this one here, which is called Taboo Romances. But this scent is a fresh pear, freesia, cedar, and lemon. Oh, it's a 5 ounce. They're 5 ounce containers. There we go. This one, again, just really so pretty. It's probably a bit more of a woody outdoor scent definitely than the other one, but I could have come home with all of them. I did discover that I don't know that I'm a huge fan of sandalwood when I was smelling them, but so great. And there were, as you saw in the video, so many that I could have chose from. So, book-wise, I did have a lot of fun looking through all of the little rooms that were in there. One of the books that I did actually pick up was Stealing Embers by Julie Hall. I just really liked the cover. This was in the fantasy romance section in the bookshop. There was a whole room for fantasy romance, which was my favorite room. I did get a lot of stuff in there that I thought just sounded really great. So this one is A Realm of Monsters, A World of Lies, and She Belongs to Both. So her name's Emberly, and everything she's been told all her life is a lie. And I just think even just that tagline sounds epic. So hopefully it's really good. There were already a few others in this series, and I did really like just the cover illustrations like on each chapter. I just thought they looked really pretty. So couldn't resist that one. The next one I picked up is another beginning of a series. So this is Forced to Be a Queen in the Sacrifice to the Fae King series by Lola Glass. Again, this one is marrying a king to save the world. So similar tropes probably, just love the covers, look really good, love the sound of it. Hopefully it's a good read, and if it's the beginning of a series, then I'll have a lot more to go on with. The next two I saw as soon as I walked into the shop. They were in that first main room, and they did only have a hardback version of the first book, so I did have to pick them up in hardback. I do generally mostly purchase books in paperback, but I couldn't resist them. They were just so pretty and they sounded really good, so hopefully they are a good read. I think it is just a duology as well, which made it easier with both books being there for me to just grab them both. So the first one is The Cursed and the Broken by Chloe Hodge. And then the second book is The Fated and the Damned. And how awesome are these covers? Just like, look at them. I don't know how anyone could resist. I couldn't leave them there. They were just too pretty. So again, Dark Queen, Rising, executed by witches and cultists and all that fun stuff. So, and they're just gonna look so pretty on my shelf. Again, hopefully a really good duology, and I can maybe get a new author out of it. Hopefully she's written some other stuff that I will be interested in and I can continue on. So all of those books have been added to my want to read list, and I will now have to find spots on my shelves. But that's okay, there's a fair bit of room. And also it was so lovely with purchase. You could get a cute little tote bag, which is always lots of fun. And then she had a plate of little free stuff that you could select from. And I got this cute little pen and then a couple more bookmarks because you can never have enough. So these ones are branded for the shop and have the same logo on this one as is on the bag, which is just super cute. Can you go anywhere without a bookmark, really? So never a bad choice to pick up when you're there. On our little adventure though, we didn't just go to one bookshop. We did sneak in a couple more. In Murray Bridge, there was a Big W pretty close by, and so when we stopped for lunch, we did pop in there to have a look. This book series was out for $25 because I haven't taken the tag off. And it's the Dangerous Damsels collection. And again, I just thought the covers looked really cute. It's by India Holton. I loved the box set vibes, and I may just have been on a purchasing high by now and just couldn't stop. So the first one in this series is The Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels. And then we move on to The League of Gentlemen Witches and The Secret Service of Tea and Treason. And again, it just kind of had Bridgerton vibes, but possibly with a bit of a murder sleuthy kind of twist, which I like in TV shows. So I'm hoping I enjoy in books. But again, if I read the first one and this isn't my cup of tea, I will pass them on to someone else. Now, the little bookshop we did go to was just out of a little place called Sterling. It's a really cute little bookshop. It was called Matilda Books. I didn't actually purchase anything from there, but it was just nice to have a look around at. And then when we headed back towards the city, we stopped in a little secondhand bookshop in Blackwood. I'm not entirely sure of the name. If I can find it, I will pop it up on the screen so you can go check it out. I did find a copy of Shatter Me by Tahir Mafi. Sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. I have seen this, and I do have a few of her others borrowed from the library at the moment, which I haven't gotten to, but have added to my want to read list. So even if I have to take them back, they will get picked up at some point. And I just thought for $8, it was in really good condition, and it can just be one that I add to my shelf. It's on my want to read list already, I think. So again, now if it's pulled out, I've got a copy already on the go. That was the end of our little road trip adventure. We had a great day. It was just so fun looking at all the bookshops and hanging out and getting some lunch, catching up, and just going for a drive. I do really like just driving to check out new locations and places. I think I definitely spent enough money in January, so hopefully the next few months aren't as extensive. although we'll see when I get to this other little indie romance bookshop that's on the other side of town. And if I do end up getting up there in February, I'll add that into a March haul, but we'll see how we go. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time going out and about and picking up all these new things. I would love to hear what you've added to your want to read list or physical shelves in January, so pop those down below. Otherwise, if you don't have much to say but want to just let me know that you were here, you could leave me a little book emoji in the comments. That would be great. If you want to and you haven't yet, please feel free to subscribe. It would be great having you as part of my little community. And I hope wherever you are, you have had a lovely day. Hit that like button for me, that would be great. And I'll see you next time. Bye.